I'm Elex Michaelson. This week, the issue is, should California's Prop 47 be reformed? San Jose Mayor Matt Mahan says yes. He's a key leader pushing Prop 36. He's here to make his case. Then, an exclusive sit-down with the chairman of the Republican National Committee, Mike Whatley. And a preview of next week's historic debate between Kamala Harris and Donald Trump. Plus, the lessons we all can learn from this California sidewalk. The issue is starts right now.
Broadcasting across California, you're watching The Issue Is.
And welcome to The Issue Is. I'm Elex Michaelson. This week, a look at the perhaps most controversial proposition on the California ballot. With us is the Democratic mayor of San Jose, Matt Mahan. Now, Mayor Mahan was the first Democratic mayor to endorse the effort to reform 2014's Prop 47 with 2024's Prop 36. Prop 36 allows felony charges and increases sentences for certain drug and theft crimes. Mahan made his case recently with this op-ed in the San Jose Inside entitled, "Proposition 36 is reform we need to save money and lives." In it, he admits that he voted for Prop 47 10 years ago. Mayor Mahan, welcome back to The Issue Is, and welcome to our studio for the first time. Good to see you.
Thank you, Alex. Great to be here.
So Prop 47, you said you voted for it. You were a supporter of it.
I was, because the core premise that we should get people into treatment, job training, and try to move away from the era of mass incarceration is still valid. But what we've seen is that there are some unintended consequences of Prop 47. The reason I support Prop 36 is that it reforms Prop 47 and focuses on this phenomenon of repeat offenders, often stuck deeply in addiction to serious drugs like fentanyl and meth, and helps break that cycle and gives us the opportunity to fulfill the promise of Prop 47, which is to get to the era of mass treatment.
Okay, so there's like two major aspects of this. One is drugs, one is some of the retail theft. Let's start with the drugs. What exactly does it do? Because it gives more ability for judges, right?
That's right. And this is on a third drug offense. So you get a second chance, a third chance. On a third drug offense, judges have the ability, and it is at their discretion. It's not a mandated sentence. It's not 3 strikes, but the judge can look at all the evidence and has the ability to say to someone, you have a choice, treatment or county jail. I've talked to a number of addicts in their middle ages today who tell me they're only alive today because they were forced to detox because they spent a month at the county jail. That's not the goal. The goal is to get people into treatment. But if you're stuck on the streets, deep in an addiction to a substance like fentanyl, I think the compassionate thing is for us to intervene and give you a chance to make a better decision.
And obviously, a lot of people, when they talk about Prop 47, they talk about retail theft. What does it do in terms of changing the penalties there?
Well, similarly, on a third offense, judges have the discretion to charge it as a felony, which would come with jail or prison time. And so it increases penalties. But I want to also note that I see these crises as intertwined. We have, since Prop 47 passed, we've seen participation in drug courts drop. We've seen overdose deaths more than double. We've seen homelessness go up nearly 60%, while it is down in most states across the country. And especially in the last 5-6 years, we've seen rising retail theft, sometimes to fund an addiction. And so I think these issues of unsheltered homelessness, addiction, property crime are intertwined in a complicated way. And what we need are compassionate solutions that prioritize treatment but don't leave people to suffer and die on our streets, as we see far too often.
So this measure is really splitting the Democratic Party right now. The California Politico Playbook wrote about you and your advocacy of Prop 36, something that Governor Newsom is not supporting. And we want to put up their headline this week. It says, "Meet the mayor getting under Newsom's skin." A picture of the two of you. Just recently, he signed a bunch of bills in San Jose at a Home Depot, crime-related bills passed by the legislature. You see, like, basically every Democrat in the whole state there, except for you, the mayor of San Jose, not invited to that event. What is the nature of your relationship with Governor Newsom right now?
I have a lot of respect for our governor, and I stood with him on Prop 1, which will add 10,000 treatment beds. I think Prop 36 will help us ensure they go to those who most need them. I stood with the governor in San Jose, led the way on building the tiny homes that the governor has helped fund. And I agree with his message around greater accountability for cities and counties to get people out of encampments and indoors. But I have to say, I'm a little surprised and trying to figure out, where he's at on this, because to me, when you go out to the encampments, you see the suffering, you see the addiction, you talk to the small businesses that are impacted. If we don't have the tools to compel people who are severely addicted into treatment, if we don't give judges the ability to mandate treatment, I think it's going to be very hard to end this era of encampments. He ran a campaign for Prop 1 called Treatment, Not Tents. And part of the way we're going to get there is by giving judges tools for getting people into treatment.
So you're in favor of Prop 36. The mayor of San Francisco, the mayor of San Diego, both Democrats, also in favor of this. But the Newsom was asked about this, and he basically kind of said, this is not the Democratic Party. It's just a couple of mayors talking about you. And it is true that a lot of the Democratic legislators are basically saying this is going to bring us back to the era of mass incarceration that targeted black and brown people disproportionately. Why do you think so many Democrats are not in favor of Prop 36?
Well, I think to be really precise about it, I think the division is really between local elected officials who may be Democrats or independents or Republicans and serve in nonpartisan offices at the local level, hearing from our constituents every single day, having people come up to us in the grocery store saying, what are you doing about the fentanyl overdoses, the retail theft, the tent encampments sprawled across our cities, and then Sacramento. And I understand there's a concern about the fiscal situation in Sacramento over the coming years. But what I'm hearing from Democrats at the local level is a lot of support for Prop 36, the reform of Prop 47, because they're grappling with these issues every single day. So I think it is unfair to say this is just a couple of mayors. I'm hearing from local Democrats across the state who are signing on to the Yes on 36 campaign. In terms of disproportionate impacts, the data would show the opposite. It's our communities of color that are most impacted by drug overdoses, by homelessness. It's our small businesses. In San Jose, we have 60,000 small businesses, over half of which are immigrant-owned. Those are the folks coming to me every day asking us to do more, asking us to do better, asking us to break this cycle of addiction and theft and homelessness and get people into treatment. That's what Prop 36 is about.
One issue where I think you and the governor have a lot of agreement on is what happened at the Supreme Court recently. So the Supreme Court basically giving cities more ability to deal with homeless encampments and to clear those encampments. What's your approach right now when it comes to homeless encampments?
Well, I agree with the governor that we need local governments across the state to be accountable for getting people out of encampments that are unsafe, unsanitary, and get people into safe, dignified shelter and treatment. I will say that one of the challenges our outreach teams run into is a very high percentage of people on our streets who are trapped in a cycle of addiction and are what we call service resistant, are not ready to say yes to shelter. And that's one of the reasons that I believe that we have a duty to intervene and save lives. And we need the tools for a judge to have the discretion to mandate someone into treatment.
Just recently, you were in San Diego checking out this concept of safe sleeping sites. You were with the mayor there, Todd Gloria. What did you learn there? What does that mean? And that's something you're going to be implementing in San Jose.
That's right. Yeah, Todd Gloria personally gave me a tour of their largest safe sleeping site, which houses about 400 people. And the premise is that we need solutions today. We have to treat homelessness like the crisis that it is. Imagine an earthquake hit that put tens of thousands of people on the streets. We wouldn't say we need to wait 10, 15, 20 years to have enough money to build a brand new apartment for everyone. We would start to triage the situation, get people into safety, get people connected to services. In San Diego, they've been quite successful with getting people out of very unsafe, unmanaged encampments along the freeways, in neighborhoods, and into a managed site that has security, sanitation, case management. People aren't worried about where their next meal is coming from. That stability allows people to start to engage in drug treatment and job training and reconnect with family. That's the goal. We're going to stand up our first safe sleeping site in San Jose early next year.
Interesting. And that might be a model that the state could look at in other cities as well. As we wrap some up here, we like to have some fun. This is a game called Personal Issues, which you played the last time remotely. Now you get to play in person, and we get to learn some of your favorites. So this is the first thing that comes to mind for you. You ready?
I don't know, but
Okay.
let's give it a try.
Okay. What's your favorite movie?
All right, don't judge me for this. I really like The English Patient.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Who is your favorite musical artist?
Well, you know, last time you asked me about my favorite song, and I said California Love. So I grew up with hip hop. Tupac is definitely up there.
Love that. Favorite athlete?
Oh my gosh. Well, again, harkening back to my childhood, Michael Jordan is definitely a childhood hero
Tough
of
to
mine.
beat that. Favorite way to relax?
I really like to garden and hike,
And-
the outdoors.
And what's the best thing about being a Californian?
Oh my gosh. The people, the food, the weather, I can't pick one thing. We're very blessed in this state.
And apparently the gardening, and of course the music. So
right.
up next, we've got the chair of the Republican National Committee, Michael Whatley. But we go to break once again with your favorite song. Here's California Love, Tupac, Dr. Dre. Here we go. Doesn't get better than this, right?
It doesn't.
It doesn't.
So good.